Hello basketball coaches and basketball players, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to give you some basketball plays that all end in layups. Let's get down to the clipboard and let's check these out. Okay, so in this first basketball play, we're going to have player 1. He's going to go and dribble over towards that left side. Obviously, his defender is going to be following him, and at the same time, we're going to be having player 4. He's going to be setting a screen on player 5. Player 5 is going to then use that screen, and he's going to be then cutting towards the rim. Now, if he's open, he's got himself a layup. If he's not open, and player 5 got through, or they switched, whatever it may be, we're going to have player 4 clear out of the key, and then on the same side or the opposite side, it depends on what his situation is. If his man is right on this side, we want him to go and set a screen away for player 3. Player 3 is then going to cut towards the rim, and he may be open for a layup. Now, if player 5's man instead was on this side of him, what we want him to do is set a screen on the left side, and we want player 2 to go over the screen. That way, we can have player 1 get the ball to player 2 for that layup. Now, this next play is a 4-out offense with a player in the low post. Now, what we're going to be having here is just a quick, simple screen out for player 2. Player 2 is then going to be cutting across the key, and he could be open for that layup. Now, if he's not open, let's say they switched off or player 2 was able to fight through that screen, what I want to see happen now is for player 2 to clear out towards the opposite side and player 5 to set a screen and roll up with player 1. So player 1 can either take that shot, but we're aiming for a layup, so he could either drive towards the rim or player 5 could roll off, and then we could have an possible open lane passing lane to player 5 for that layup. Now you may be wondering, okay, Alan, what are you doing? Why are all these plays against man-to-man? Okay, so the main idea behind a zone defense is the fact that they want to cut off anything in the low post, or at least everything inside the key. So if you're going to be wanting to run plays and get only layups, you better be really only running them up against a man-to-man defense. Now, if you were up against a zone defense, there are ways of getting layups, and I'll show you right now. Okay, so we're up against a 2-3 zone, and most likely, the zone is going to look like this. Now, if you want to get a layup against a zone, you could run something that I like to call triangle, and that is because, well, we're going into the triangle set, and that's essentially what this is. Now, to get a layup off of this, what you can get is player 5 to set a screen for player 1. Player 1 is then going to then cut across the key, and that's going to draw player 5 red up, especially if we're going to try and get rid of that keyboard. I don't know why that popped up, but especially if player 5 is going to pop up, we need to get player 1 the ball. The reason for this is because now player 5 can cut baseline, and with player 5 red drawn up to player 1 can bounce pass down to player 5 for that layup. So this is a great play to run against the 2-3 zone. It's also pretty good to run against a 3-2 zone as well. So make sure to pick your poison, but this is a great play to run. Now, really quickly, we're going to be going back up against a man-to-man defense because I have a few more plays that I really want to show you. So we're with the 4-out offense once again. We're going to be having player 4 set a screen for player 1, and we're going to have player 5 this time. He's going to be setting a screen on wherever player 4's man really is. This way, even though it looks like a staggered screen, it's not. Basically, what we're doing is getting player 1 down closer towards this corner, and we're going to be having player 4 roll off. One of a few things can happen here. Either player 5 is going to be popping off to defend player 1 from shooting or going in for a layup. Even if he isn't, he still could go in for that layup, but what we're looking for is player 4 rolling towards the basket where we can get him the ball for that layup, because player 5 was setting a screen not as a staggered screen, but on player 4's defender. Now, in this last play of this video, it's a high 1-4 offense, and what we're going to be doing here is something that a lot of teams try and shy away from, and that is players crossing on the court, both asking for the ball. However, there's a strategy behind this. The strategy is player 2 and 3, they're both going to be cutting towards the basket. Obviously, if one or both of those players are open, hit them up for the layup. Now, of course, if they get the ball in the layup, you're all set. Now, if let's say one or both of their defenders come down and still are defending them, what I want to see happen now is for both of them, we would all automatically decide which side they want to go on by the point guard saying high 1-4 layup left or right, or whatever you want to call it. You can call it whatever you really want, but let's say we have them both clearing out towards the left side. Now what's going to happen is we're going to have player 5, he's going to be popping out, and we're going to be having player 4 setting a screen and roll on player 1. Player 1 can drive right towards the basket, or we can have player 4 open, possibly rolling towards the basket for a possible layup. Now, both of these, or actually all of these, are really great plays to run with your team. Now, if you really want a way to stop plays like this from happening, check out my Unbeatable Basketball Defense book in the link in the description below. I know you're going to love it, and I'll see you guys again later on today for the second video of the day.